back to DBS and Dolor Factor Live. In the studio tonight I have Kirk Elliott and Sabrina Romulus, and we're going to be talking a little about themselves, about how they got into what they're doing right now, and we're going to also show you examples of their work, and I'm really looking forward to that. So Sabrina, tell us about you. Where were you born?
Well, born right here in St. Lucia. I live Pave. I went to the Ave Maria primary infant, and that's where I knew I just love, drawing, and painting took to me when I went to secondary school. I went to the Castro's Comprehensive.
Yay, it's my school. You didn't like it? Oh, I loved it. Those were great days.
It was a good school. I loved it. I had some good time, and the subjects were, well, art was always my favorite subject. I did art in Form 4. I think I got a 1 among all the Form 5s. And basically leaving school, well, at school I did a lot of competitions. One of my biggest one was the FCCA competition, which I won internationally. I think, well, my first attempt on it, I was probably in the junior division, and I won among all the secondary schools, and I won, I think, 200 US, and didn't make it into the international realm. But on the second try, when I was in the senior category, I collected 200 US for winning among all the secondary schools, and I won the grand prize of 2,500 US.
Whoa, that was a lot of money in those days.
Yeah,
wow.
I'm telling you.
What did you do with that money?
I banked it, and I
Good girl!
I got a computer. That's what I did with that. That's what I did with that. I got a computer and I banked the rest.
You can always tell creative people, they don't go out and buy shoes and handbags.
Yeah. And from leaving the Castro's Comprehensive, then I got introduced to the inner gallery. That was like
Rachel's amazing, isn't she?
Yes, great mentor. She was the one who told me, well, Sabrina, you can live off of, being an artist. I mean, who are you kidding? And, I took that and ran with it. I mean, a day like today, I haven't sent an application to any, job or, anything. I just solely rely on my art. And, from the gallery, I kind of, wanted to spread out my wings a little bit. So I, marched down to the, Sandals Regency beachfront. I got probably a little minute.
As you're talking, I'm just seeing. Tell us about
my dad has this one. My dad has this one. Although I did it only because a lot of Rastafarians, down on the island, and a lot of them not so much to the touristy sort of work. It's more to, well, I did it, yes, but when I brought it down to the beach, I mean, a lot of people didn't even know who, he was, So then I had it a while, and my dad loved it enough, so he has it at his home.
Okay.
So
let's see if we can get something else on.
Yay. That's a drawing of Bob.
Of course, of course. I actually went to his museum a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Wow.
It was awesome, just standing there seeing all these images of him. But straight away. Yeah, wow.
Now,
hey, what's this picture?
Yes, this is my signature style, the black on color, meant to look like I use the stencil, but it's all freehand. I paint on the color first, and then I work the black, in the reverse. So people...
And where is that hanging now, Sabrina?
You have this one.
I have that picture. I saw the series and I thought, yes.
And they made the newspaper as well. I think 1 or 2 of them. Right. This one is the sleeping vendor. Although if you get a zoom on, I mean, there's some oranges and bananas, and I remember a guy telling me, but how do I have the oranges more expensive than the bananas, Yeah, people get a good, feel of it.
And I have to say, before we even got to that one, the lady, I mean, I have that at my home, and people, they just, they walk up to it and they just look at it.
Thank
and
you.
they say,
Thank you.
who does that? I said, my friend, Serena. Lovely, I love that. Okay.
Those are my tiki talkers. It has more of a feel on it. It has, it's done with textured paste. So it's my take on doing carving. How about that, huh? I'm not carving, chipping out wood.
That's so different.
Yeah, but
that is, Kirk, what do you think of that? I mean, it's so different.
I am sitting here and looking, and I'm just absolutely blown away. I mean, going back from the Selassie, the bob, I mean, I wouldn't have known that it wasn't one of the bobs that I've seen out there any other place.
It's
no,
blown
that was
away.
like a quick joy. I mean, I was like in a bar and I saw the photo and I was like doodling.
Oh, that's wonderful. I want one like that.
Yeah.
I want one like that. But you know, when you have paintings, portraits like that, they either look really wonderful or you say, oh, look at this. Oh.
That one is my little rude face.
Wow.
Oh, that's enough. That is gorgeous. Oh, I want that. And look at how the dress fits on the shoulders.
Yeah.
Like slightly.
Yeah.
Oh, look
You
at
call
that
it rude. I
face.
actually call it a sweet face.
I
Yeah.
know. My
Oh,
mom
look at
always, gave me a lot of grief for the rude lip, So I
Oh,
guess
the little child, she's
It's
gorgeous.
got me into trouble, right?
Is that
Yeah.
somebody?
Yeah.
Is that, so was that from a picture or someone you knew?
well,
or?
that's me. That's me as a little girl. That was a...
That's you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you. And that one, I think I had... what did I do
that's
with it? I
lovely.
think that one is up in Canada.
What? Could someone come to you and say, Sabrina, can you
Do a portrait?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
they can
sure.
bring you up their picture when they were a
Yes,
child? I want
yes,
one.
Yes.
I want one.
Yes.
Oh no, that was lovely.
Interesting question though, Sabrina. Would you sit someone down for a portrait session,
I can
or would you
do-
work from a picture?
I can do either, but I prefer, I guess it's better when you take a little longer time with it. So I prefer the, photograph,
Okay.
and I could sit on it, paint it, hang it up, pass by it, maybe see something that could trouble my eye, and come back on it, and maybe if it probably give or take a couple of months, because I always say the eye you have today is not the eye you have yesterday.
Wow.
So
I never thought about that. But it's true. It's
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of the paintings you see now, you'll be like, great. I thought it was great or, such before, I mean, when I was doing it or when I just finished it. But give me a year or two, I could always point out all the things I could do with it, to fix or, continue.
Wow, you're like that as well.
Oh, my God.
I'm the same way with my pictures. Yeah.
Wow, wow. And I think that people sometimes miss the point because you do this and they don't look at it as not just supporting you as an artist, but they can buy from you. They can ask you to do for them.
Yes.
They can give them as gifts.
Yeah.
Yes.
When people are looking at things to buy, why don't they think of, I've got this picture of me as a child. My mom or my dad would love to have that.
Yeah.
Or I have a picture of my parents. I'd love to, I think they're just, the picture of her.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you noticed
Yeah,
that? Oh,
yeah.
gosh, that is so,
I
and she's,
know.
look at this. Oh, little girl.
The
you just-
rude lip.
Yeah, you just want to go and pull that ponytail.
Yeah.
Ding dong,
Yes, yes. I actually did, because the basis of my paintings come from, basic St. Lucian living life, that sort of thing. And, I did a painting of, it was in the black on color style. And it was of a girl with, this rude face and some mega plaits, and I named it Change My Hair,
Oh.
because I remembered, not all the hairstyles our mom gave us, we were entirely happy with, especially young like that, growing up, So these things, when I tell guests certain stories of that, they're like, they're in our home, they're, they're living our, culture and heritage, or, maybe they might not necessarily see different scenarios like that back home. And just the fact sometimes you relay that story to them, sometimes they have their own story to bring to it, and all that is ways to sell the painting,
If you had time on your hands and you had to paint something, what are you likely to paint?
Well, what I love paint, that's what I took the black on color for, because I get to, you know, work with my imagination. You see the sleeping vendor, the women, these things are from my point of view.
I love this picture.
Yeah, my point of
painting, I
view.
should say.
You know, it's me sitting there and saying, you know what, the sleeping vendor, that.
How long did that take you to do?
I
the
don't
sleeping vendor?
remember. I don't remember.
Do you start and stop over a long period of time, or
Not,
do you?
not so long. Maybe give or take. I work it in a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
But how do you picture what you're going to?
No, it's just like, yeah, I'm walking by the market and I see, maybe I might not want to take a photo because a lot of people don't like that. But still, I would, you know, have an idea of it to sum it up, you know, bring my story, you know. It's like writing up, you know, writing up a poem or something, I guess. You know, you see something.
It's called talent.
And
It's called creativity. It's called dedication. It's called so many things that, you know, you could give me red and yellow paint and I'm sure my what are you laughing about?
I'm just thinking that
What
they might
are
come
you
out
laughing
blue.
about? And my straight line will not look as attractive as yours. That's just amazing. Well, of course, that was Sabrina Romulus. When we come back, Kirk is going to share with us something about his life as a photographer, and also we're going to see some of his photographs. So this is DBS. Stay with us.